dignity, passion, and without fear. These are the people that are needed to make a difference. In 1971, President Richard Nixon declared a war on drugs. I'm standing here before you today to tell you that you cannot declare war on an inanimate object. The war is on the citizens of America, and the front lines are our neighborhoods, and the soldiers are our peace officers, our neighbors, and our loved ones. This is not a war on drugs. It's a war on personal freedom.
Woo! Yeah! Yeah!
It's a war waged against people we know and love.
Yeah.
Our friends, family, neighbors, children, parents, and even family pets are endangered by these violent tactics.
Yeah!
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 We are using our peace officers as pawns in a war that should never have been waged in the first place. Every day, these men and women kiss their loved ones and are forced to face the day with odds that would scare any brave soul. Our government placed them in a kind of danger that is avoidable and unnecessary. These men and women who put themselves in harm's way every day for our protection are brave, selfless, heroes, and human. What happens when these men and women in blue make mistakes or bad choices that put us as civilians in danger? Who are they supposed to answer to? Elected officials that we chose to represent us? Smith, a man who condones home invasion-style raids in his community, who knowingly has police in his force, have made poor choices while in uniform and received little or no reprimand for them. A man publicly announces to his community that he will seek a death penalty for a man who has yet to even be charged. We can no longer expect others to look out for our human rights.
Yeah.
We have yet to see a president in office that recognizes the problems surrounding this type of war. We have to be able to stand up and fight for what is rightfully ours.
Yeah!
Our protection and our safety in our community. We must be able to choose elected officials that have our rights in mind. Today, Lee Smith, we are here to serve search work on you. So please do so. We're not here to move your subject security. We will not wait through and break your front door, or perhaps even shoot and kill your family dog. We will be polite and courteous to those we encounter. We will address men and women as sir or madam with respect. And we will say please and thank you when we are conversing with those whom we talk to. We are only here to ask, how many shootings have you deemed justified? Is there a single one that you didn't question as accidental, involuntary, or even perhaps all-out wrong? I feel that no amount of drugs is worth an officer's life. And supporting a violent war on drugs is like saying that Officer Brigham was an acceptable loss. It is most definitely not reason enough to lose another. There is a better way than these violent tactics that we made at home and putting everyone in danger. There is a better way to treat our neighbors and struggle in life. Our officers should be able to have more trust in the people that they swore to protect. And our citizens should be able to reach out to them and serve communities. Understanding and safe practice on our law enforcement utilizing on a nightly basis. Keep the Peace is dedicated to stopping violent confrontations. We are dedicated to keeping our loved ones and officers safe, and we want to see a change. Help us. Join us. Become involved. Donate your time, your work, and encouragement. Please visit helpmatthewstewart.org to know more about Matthew David Stewart, our cause, and how you can help. Thank you.
Keep the peace!
Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Keep the peace!
That gets up the street!
Keep the peace! Keep the peace! Keep the peace!
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ben Valdez Jr. I am with Empower Utah. we have tried to legalize cannabis in this state since 1995. And it's not so that all of us can go home and get stoned, although that isn't necessarily always true.
Right now? Yeah.
The purpose is exactly why we're here. It's because the drug war has turned our peace officers into war officers. I want everyone to understand this. There has never been, ever, and there will never be a drug-free America. You cannot punish us enough. You cannot fine us, imprison us, send informants into our homes, terrorize our families enough to create what has never been, and that would be a drug-free society. I also want to say something else briefly. I too, and I don't want to say victim, I'm a survivor. I am a survivor of police brutality. On May the 20th of 1999, the police came into my home just after we had secured Utah's very first initiative petition to legalize cannabis. They pulled me out of my bed and beat me like a rag doll. I didn't know who they were, just like Matthew did, or David did, rather. And I got up and I fought. Later, as I was being handcuffed, I realized when I looked up, oh, these are the police. Okay, well, a little bit later on in that night, the police officer that I hit stated that if his two buddies weren't busy beating me up, he would have shot me in my bed. Because it would have been justified by law to do so. This has got to end.
Yeah.
We have got to save not just ourselves, but the police, and we can't sit here and point fingers at the police.
Yeah.
That responsibility falls squarely on us. As citizens, we have to understand that our founders created our government so that it could work from the bottom up, not from the top down. And if we don't get involved in our own government, we have only ourselves to blame for everything that's happening here. I have one other thing I'd like to add, but before I do that, I'm also acting as Ken Larson, Dr. Ken Larson's campaign manager, who is running for governor of the state of Utah. He's a libertarian, and if he gets elected, he promises to end the drug war in the state of Utah.
Yeah.
So we can either go Democrat or Republican, and you know what that's gotten us for the last 40 years with the drug war, or we can vote Libertarian, and that choice is yours, but that's what I advise. Finally, I just want to end with this. Prohibition was introduced as a fraud. It has been nursed as a fraud. It is wrapped in the language of heaven, but it comes to serve the devil. It comes to regulate by law our appetites and our daily lives. It comes to tear down liberty and build up fanaticism, hypocrisy, and intolerance. It comes to confiscate by legislative decree the property of many of our fellow citizens. It comes to send spies, detectives, SWAT teams, and informants into our homes to have us arrested and carried before the courts and condemned to fines, imprisonment, and death. It comes to dissipate the sunlight of happiness and prosperity, and to fill our land with alienations, estrangements, and bitterness. It comes to bring us evil, and only evil, and that continuously. Let us rise in our minds and overwhelm this as one with such indignation that we shall never hear of this again, as long as the grass grows and the water runs. Thank you.
No justice, no peace, no violence, police,
No justice, no peace, no violence, police.
no justice, no peace, no violence.
Police, no justice,